Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're making some modifications to the ZX4RR today. Got some parts on the table, and I just got the message from Cycle Gear that the new tires are in. So we'll get the wheels and tires off the bike and we'll take it over there to get some new tires. Let's dive right into it. So we got the GRAVES Motorsports catback exhaust here on the table. We'll do an unboxing. We got some stomp grip tank pads. We got a center tank grip here from Tech Spec. We got the DNA air filter here, so we want to get all these on the bike before we get the tune. We're going to pull the front mirrors off, and I got these from TST Industries, so some front mirror block off plates here. And we'll get the gas tank off, we'll pull the ECU, and then we'll drop in the new air filter. So we got the GRAVES Fender eliminator kit. And we got the can itself. So we went with the carbon. I believe they have a stainless steel option too, but this is titanium, and you do save a few pounds over the stock OEM muffler. I believe the OEM muffler weighs close to 10 pounds. It's pretty heavy. So check that out. Although this is just a slip-on, if I wanted to add a mid-pipe and headers down the line, this is fully adaptable. So I'm starting with the slip-on catback for now. After chatting with Nate at Two Wheel Dyno Works, he was saying the difference between a catback and the slip-on, it's about 3 or 4 horsepower, so nothing major. The biggest gain is going to be the weight loss. But for now, we're starting off with the slip-on, and down the line, if we want to go full exhaust, it should be pretty easy to do. Alright guys, as far as installing, very easy. Just 2 bolts, and that's it. So 12mm wrench on the back nut here, and then a 10mm bolt here. Okay, that comes out, you got a washer, and you got a 12mm nut down here with this clamp. Okay, with those bolts loosened, should come right off. There we go, just like that. This thing is heavy. All right, got my scale here. We'll zero it out. All right, so 9 pounds, 8 ounces. Let's call it 10 pounds. So 10 pounds for the stock can. £3 pounds. So the can alone, we're saving about 7 pounds. So that's pretty cool to see. All right, we'll put the new can on. Be mindful there's a new clamp here with a 5mm Allen key to tighten up to your mid pipe. I got some SC Project grease when I installed the exhaust on my 10R, so I'm just gonna put it on the pipe where the 2 pieces meet. Okay. Slips right on, lines right up. We'll reinstall the original hardware. 5mm Allen key down there. We'll tighten that up. So that's it, just like that. We got the GRAVES catback carbon slip-on the ZX4RR. Got the stock can off. So next mod, I'm going to work on taking off this ugly fender. Just too much going on here, sticks all the way out. Not a fan, so we got the GRAVES fender eliminator here, and we'll go ahead and get that installed as well. Alright guys, we fast forward a little bit with the magic of YouTube. I ended up taking off the rear wheel and the front wheel. Didn't show you guys on camera, but I will show you guys the reassembly process. So we got the rear wheel here. These are the stock Sportmax GPR 300s that we are getting rid of. Alright, so we got the stock OEM fender off. This thing's pretty heavy. The housing is steel, so it's got some good weight to it. Because we are keeping track of how much weight we are taking off this bike, zero this out. Alright, so double zeros. Let's go ahead and throw this on there. And wow, 3 pounds. So another 3 pounds with removing this stock fender, which is nice. Let's see how much the GRAVES weighs. Let's see. So yeah, not even a pound. 11 ounces. So definitely some weight savings. Let's call it 2+ pounds we're saving by switching to this. So we'll add that to our tracker as far as how much weight we're stripping off the ZX4RR. Alright, before I head to Cycle Gear to pick up the tires, I want to get that ECU out just so I can get it packaged up and shipped to Two Wheel Dyno Works this morning. Cool. So got the ECU out. We'll go ahead and send this into Two Wheel Dyno Works and get it flashed. And since we have it all taken apart, go ahead and access the air filter and swap that out as well. Okay, that's out. Be careful, there is a screw holding on. We'll put our new filter on, and it comes with a nice screw already installed, pre-installed. Alright, so new filter in. It came with a pre-installed screw. We'll screw that in and then get this all covered back up. Hey guys, so we got all the bolts tightened up around the airbox. We'll go ahead and leave the gas tank off. I don't need to mess with this space for a while. Pulling up the cycle gear here in a minute. Let's see how long it takes them to get these mounted. All right. Ah, here they are. Alright guys, we just left post office. We just sent it with the tracking number. Should get there by Saturday, and hopefully I get it back Monday, Tuesday next week. Alright guys, so we got the ECU back. I shipped this off on Thursday afternoon. It arrived at Two Wheel Dyno Works on Friday, and they shipped it back, and I got it Saturday night. So very quick turnaround. We'll go ahead and get this installed, and then I'll go ahead and get my new lithium battery installed. I didn't realize I had to charge this before installing, so I just want to follow the instructions. We are saving quite a bit of pounds. I believe about 6 pounds from the lead acid to the lithium battery. So let's add that to the weight tracker there. So that thing's pretty hefty. We're about 7.5 pounds. We'll go 7 pounds 4 ounces. Then we'll swap to our new lithium. So just a pound there, pound and a half. So we'll call it 6 pounds total that we're saving with the lithium battery alone. As far as the lithium battery, went with the AT7B, and it has pretty much the same specs as our lead acid battery. So they're the same height. Width wise, this is a little wider, but it's okay because these come with foam blocks up against the side of the battery, and it will fit snug just fine. I'll tidy on. You can see it looks a lot neater, a lot cleaner. I reconnected the plugs already, so I'm gonna button this section back up. I got my charger coming this afternoon. I'll recharge this battery, and then we will get this all buttoned back up. I'll get the ECU connected now that we got it back from Two Wheel Dyno Works, and then we'll slowly button this thing back up. Wheels and tires are ready from Cycle Gear, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick those up this afternoon, and we'll get this all wrapped up today. Alright guys, just gonna put the gas tank back on. Alright guys, just picked up the tires from Cycle Gear. Fresh Q5s. It's back in the garage. Got our new wheels and tires in the garage. Got my battery tender over here, which has a dual charging option, lead acid and lithium ion. So I'll just set this to lithium ion, charge the battery while we work, reinstall the rear, reinstall the front, and then should be able to get her on, get her turned back on ever since we pulled out the ECU. Listen to the new GRAVES catback slip-on and see how she rides. Real quick look at the Dunlop Q5 Sport Max, and these tires are super sticky. It's night and day when you compare them to the GPR 300s, which is more of a street tire. These are a track focused tire that are street legal. There's a Q5S, which has a little bit more siping and is more road friendly. I'm assuming it wears a little better, but these tires, the Q5, these things, leave it to Dunlop to confuse the heck out of you. Q5S and Q5. But Q5S just stands for the Q5 Street, and the Q5 is more of a track focused race tire, which just heats up super fast. It's almost like slicks, except you don't need to run tire warmers. They heat up very fast. So I ran these on my Ninja 400 and I was very happy with them. Same tire on the front, just the stock 120 70 R17, and really happy with these. So we got our sprocket back on. We had all the rubber fittings back into place. We put in our spacers. General rule of thumb, because I'm watching a baby at the moment, so if she flips over or starts freaking out, then I can just strip these gloves off. So a little tip, get yourself some of these disposable latex gloves. Before I put these spacers back in and back on the bike, I'm just going to add a little bit of the Maxima Racing Oils waterproof grease, just to make sure everything stays lubricated. So you don't need much. A little bit will go a long way. Just like so. Gonna run a little bit grease along the edges. Okay. Alright, so we got a little MPPL. Just gonna spray this down on my rag and give the axle a good wipe down here. So if you have this Pitbull tire wedge, I highly recommend it. This thing is worth itself in gold, but it just makes getting the wheel back on a lot easier. That just snaps into place, and then you can use this little dial to raise the tire where it needs to go, so that the hole and the spacers, they line up where they need to line up on the bike. Make sure that seats properly. There we go. Alright, so let's see how did this go. Like that. Washer. Fasten it. We tighten this all the way down. I'm gonna drop this all the way so it's out of the way, not creating any tension on the tire. We're gonna make sure that this is pushed all the way forward. So just gonna stick this up here, get a little bit of tension on that chain, and then we'll tighten this up a bit. 72 foot-pounds, that's what I read on the forums. Sounds about right. Okay, that's 72 foot-pounds. Check my chain tensioner settings. It's on the 3rd line on this side, and on this side, out. Not sure if you guys can see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's even on both sides. And then last thing I want to do is just check the slack on the chain. In spec, it's about 1 inch, slightly a hair over, but I think, let's see, what's the guideline for this thing? Within 1 inch to 1.4 inches. So yeah, we're within spec. Feels good. Hop to the back. And then before you start riding, obviously pump your rear brakes, get all the air out of the lines. Otherwise you're going to come to a stop and roll right into the car in front of you. Or even worse, into the middle of the intersection. So awesome. Okay, let's get the front. Alright guys, so Pitbull tire wedge install. We'll just twist this knob to get this thing raised up a little bit. We'll slide in our front caliper brakes. And then remember when I said be mindful of where your ABS sensor is. Your ABS sensor is on the passenger side or the right side of the bike. And you want to make sure that that ABS ring, can be read by the sensor over on this side. Again, the passenger side. Okay. And be mindful of your wheel spacers because they like to fall out. And this is where the Pitbull tire wedge really shines, is because you have a 3rd arm. All you have to do is just lift up on this knob to raise up the axle hole where it needs to go in. Got our axle in and made it all the way through to the other side, and we're up against the thread. So now we'll just use our 12mm socket here, Allen socket, and we'll get this nice and snug. Step back real quick just to really appreciate the Q5s on this bike. Oh, she's looking real good. After we get her dropped on the ground, I'll go over everything we did. Maybe we'll do total weight calculation savings that we came up with the scale there. So you can see that bolt threading in there. I like this design. On the 400 you had a castle nut to deal with and another cotter pin, and I love that it's already pre-threaded on this side of the fork. So we'll get this nice and snug, and then we'll torque it down to spec here. Okay, here we go. Front axle pinch bolt 15 foot-pounds. Okay, front axle bolt 72 foot-pounds. Okay, so same as the rear. Okay, 70. So just slide your rotors in between the brake discs. Make sure those sit on top of a little ledge there. So 25 foot-pounds. Not much. Drop this, and then we'll torque our brake calipers at 25 foot-pounds, and then should be mostly done there. Just gotta wait for our battery to charge, but I got a solid green blinking light on my lithium-ion battery, which means this guy is almost full. Got the baby waking up here, so may have to resume in a couple hours here. Alright guys, I think we're all done. Unfortunately, it just started pouring rain. It's like downpouring out there, so not a good time to go test out the exhaust and run the bike. So after she's on the ground, we'll do one last walk around of the bike and get a sound check for you guys. All done. So I'll go ahead and give you guys a quick sound check on the Graves catback slip-on. Quick overview of everything we did. So we got the TST mirror block-off plates here. Can't remember how much weight we saved with the mirrors, but I'll add that on the screen in a second. So we got the Graves slip-on here. Got our new Q5s, Dunlop Q5s. I got a bolt coming on the way to replace this one. Got our Q5s up front. We got our anti-gravity lithium ion. We added our stomp grips, tank grips, so you got added a tech spec tank pad. Oh, we also have the new DNA air filter, and we got our ECU flash. We're gonna see some warning lights just because it just got flashed, but just have to run it through a couple cycles and it should go away. Last appreciation shot of it. Alright guys, got it out in the sun. We'll do a cold start here. Back in the garage real quick, just take a quick look at the new Fender Eliminator by Graves. Nice and clean. Got that entire dolphin tail gone. Make sure our signal lights are working. The right blinker on. So these are the OEM blinkers. It just retrofitted into the new housing here for the Graves Fender Eliminator. So it looks like we didn't mix the left and right up, so that's good. Perfect. We'll just check for all functionality. The rear brake, it's good. And the front brake, nice. Awesome.